my God, what is up, everybody? Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been about a week since I posted anything, and for that I apologize. But here's the reason why. Take a look at my shop. There's crap there. There's crap there. There's still crap here. Let me give you an idea of what my welding table looks like right now. It's absolutely disgusting. There's stuff on everything. There's even stuff on the Datsun. So, what I wanted to do today is give you guys an update and a reason why you haven't seen me in so long. Now, in my line of work, and I think most mechanics can attest to this, end of December and January are heinously slow. Like, slow to the point where you're not sure if you're going to be able to make enough money to eat the next day, so you're living off ramen noodles and stuff like that. Especially me, I own my own business. I have a very close-knit and small group of clientele. I've only got about 250 customers or so that I deal with on a regular. So we're not a huge business. It's literally me doing all the mechanical work and Sherry handling all of everything else that goes on with the business. So, February, for some reason or another, either everybody breaks their crap in January or I don't know what it is, but February 1st hits and we get swamped every single year. And this year was no different. I mean, this week alone, we've had cooling system problems after cooling system problems, after head gaskets, after, you know, people crashing their vehicles and needing them fixed, to you name it. We've had it this week. I mean, we had a head gasket job come in that was unexpected. They really needed their car, so we had to knock that out super fast. And for some reason or another, the car ended up coming back for an unrelated issue a day later, so the car was back here again. We fixed that problem as well and got them on their way. And then we had a couple of customers who had appointments scheduled for next week that decided they wanted to drop off this week and got their schedules messed up. So we've literally been going balls to the wall for the last week with absolutely no break in between. I haven't been finishing up my normal maintenance stuff until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. So hence why I haven't made a video. But I do have sort of an update on the Datsun. I know a lot of you guys are asking about, you know, this guy right here, and really don't have too much of an update on it. I did manage to finally get a hold of the owner. He is back in town. He was out of state for a while, and he contacted me and said that he's really interested in getting this project moving along again, and that he wants me to now wire the car and get the car running and everything else. So hopefully we'll be able to get moving on this car very soon, because to be quite honest with you, it takes up a lot of real estate that I don't have right now. And speaking of real estate, a lot of you guys were asking me, and I know I mentioned it before, but the shop is expanding. We moved into this location temporarily to get out of a much larger location that had a stupid amount of overhead. And we were on target back in July to have basically this same unit plus the one next door to it, which would give us just over 2,000 square feet. And this way we could have the service bay where we're standing right now, and we could have our fabrication bay and all our machinery and equipment and everything else over in the other bay. Well, we had a fire here. If you guys don't know, any of you guys that watch Haggard videos or Jimmy's videos, whatever, there was a pretty big fire in this complex, and it kind of screwed the pooch, like big time, especially for me, because what ended up happening with me is I got stuck in a temporary unit. So technically I do have two facilities, but they're nowhere near each other. So unfortunately, my lathe, my Bridgeport, a lot of my fabrication equipment, my big welding table, my tire machine, my balancer, all that shit is in storage right now because I don't have room for it. So I spoke with our landlord yesterday or the day before, and we're definitely getting two bays side by side somewhere in the June-July area. So still going to be a little while, but what we've got planned right now for this particular place is that we are going to build a mezzanine up over this spot here. So between the bathroom and that wall, and then we're going to come out this way towards me 12 feet. So we're going to have basically a 12 by 17 loft. We'll add another, you know, roughly 200 square feet to the place by adding that loft. And we're going to build an office up there, and, you know, we'll have our lounge area for our customers and everything else up there, which will then allow me to put in the Bridgeport and the lathe and my tire machine and balancer, and move the toolbox over, and, you know, hopefully reclaim some of this space. You know, all this shelving over here that's pretty much useless right now, and, you know, just everything is so super crowded in here, and it's driving me absolutely insane. So that's the plan for the shop for as of right now. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have that loft put up, and we can you know, start moving stuff up, and I'm going to reorganize this place to make it a little bit more conducive to actually working efficiently, which right now is a pain in the ass because everything was temporary. So, you know, I actually have a 220 volt plug in here. A lot of you guys probably seen this in videos, but that plug right there runs the lift, the compressor, the TIG welder, the MIG welder, and the plasma cutter. So I can't use all of those things at the same time, which drives me crazy. I have to keep unplugging shit and replugging it in. So what we're looking to do is, obviously, we're going to expand up, put everything upstairs, and then reclaim some floor space and get everything cleaned up and nice. So in the next couple of weeks we'll be doing that too. So as far as making videos goes, I know some of you guys said you're interested in seeing the maintenance stuff, and I don't know. I really just don't feel like it's something that I can consistently give you guys good content on. It's more of like, you know, there's so many people out there on YouTube that do maintenance videos and how-tos and everything else, and I don't know that I could be a part of that and actually teach you guys something, but if you really want to see it, I'll film it, I'll edit it, but I need to know that you guys want to see it. So in this video, if you can, if you've made it this far already, we're already at 7 minutes, but if you've made it this far and you want to see those videos along with the welding videos, then let me know, you know, because I have daily content if it's working on cars, but as far as fabrication goes, you know, those videos are going to come as I get fabrication customers in here. So we could do both, and definitely do both, and put out more content for you, and you know, go from there. The summertime is actually going to be a little bit easier because we can make videos with that guy, and there's just a bunch of different shit we can do, but in the winter it's kind of tough. So, but yeah, so that's the update. That's the shop update itself and what's going on with us here, and why I've been gone for the last week is just because we've been so stupid busy. But what we're going to do today is literally, I have a set of factory injectors to clean for a boosted old school Mazda 323. So I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod. We'll do some injector cleaning, and then, yeah, then we'll bring it back. All right, here we go. Now basically what we're going to do is we have this set of stock injectors from a Mazda. Now, they are the old school, low impedance, you know, big, honking, crazy looking injectors. If it'll focus. Come on. Focus, you fuck. Oh well, anywho. Yeah, so they're basically old school injectors. We're going to try to clean these things up. One of our other shops that we work with on a regular has this Mazda in their shop. They're trying to get it out. It's been there forever, and they're just trying to get the thing running and get it out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set all these up. We're going to run it through a couple of cycles. We'll probably time-lapse some of it so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. And yeah, here we go. Alright, so basically the setup is pretty easy. Basically, I say basically way too much, and I apologize for that, but you're just going to have to deal with it because I say it a lot. I'm going to take the injectors, we'll install them in the fuel rail right here. Once they're installed in the fuel rail, we flip it over, we pop it into these areas here, and then each one of these has a graduated cylinder that, through doing some math where pressure versus flow versus amount of cc's over a given amount of time, we can determine what these injectors are flowing at and what their factory flow rate should be. So we take the factory spec of the injector and we actually will then flow test it and determine whether or not it's flowing within factory specification. Now we'll also check for flow pattern. We'll check to make sure that all 4 injectors are matched with one another and that there's not one flowing more or less than the other. And we'll also check to make sure that the specified cutoffs of these when it comes to pulse width and all that other stuff are right where they need to be. Because sometimes you'll have an injector that seems to function just fine until you increase or decrease pulse width, and then they will actually start to fail. So that's one thing that we need to check on these. So we're going to go ahead and lube up the O-rings on these things right here, and then we'll stick them in the manifold and we'll flip it. Okay, so now that those are all in there and installed with all the wiring and the manifold and the hose and everything else, what I like to do is a quick pressure test to make sure that the injector itself is not leaking. And I also like to do a flow test, or not a flow test, but a pattern check to make sure that the patterns look good, and that'll help me determine whether or not I need to actually clean these injectors. Alright, so here's what we're going to do first. We are going to run an actual uniformity and sprayability test on these injectors after we've done a leakage test. Now we'll run the leakage test usually at about 40 psi or so. And what we're looking for is just little bits of drips coming out of these injectors. And we're not seeing it right now, so I think we're pretty good. Alright, so let me zoom you guys in a little bit and we will see if we can actually show you spray pattern. Alright, so there you go. That's actually not too bad. Now you can see the tips of the 4 injectors. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a spray pattern test to see if these things are actually spraying as they're supposed to be spraying. Alright, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this because of the way that it pulses and how far away technically you are. But each one of these injectors has the spray pattern that it's supposed to have. Now, being that these are old school injectors, the atomization on the spray patterns is actually not that great. So over the years, injectors have gotten much better at atomizing the fuel. These things are kind of like squirt guns, and they literally just squirt fuel. So what we'll do now is we're going to run this thing through an auto test. The auto test will simulate actual running in a car. And by doing that, we can tell whether or not we're going to need to clean these things. Plus, it also does clean them because the mineral spirits that I use in this machine actually clean the injectors as they're flow testing and doing this sort of stuff. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually time-lapse this. We're going to run the full-blown automatic test on it to simulate being in a vehicle. And then we'll come back, we'll do a flow test on them, and we'll see if they actually need to be cleaned. Alright guys, there was the auto test. That basically ran it through a complete cycle of what it would do while it was running on a car, which means it runs different pulse widths, it runs different timing, it runs different RPM, and I'm sure you, well no, you can't see the numbers now, but what it'll do is it'll simulate a car and it'll simulate running through all the ranges of what its actual capabilities are, and it will determine whether or not we need to actually physically clean these things. Spray patterns look good. The auto test went fine. So these are looking good so far. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flow test these things. And then we're going to see if they're actually flow matching with one another. And we're also going to see what exactly the actual flow rate is on these particular injectors, since these technically are unknowns. They are factory injectors, so I've been told. So we will see what exactly that entails. Zoom you guys out a little bit here. Oh, I'm back in. Alright. Okay, so here we go with the flow test. Now we're running these at 20 psi over 15 seconds, and we're going to see where they go. We'll let that settle out a little bit, just get rid of all the bubbly fuzzies. And so far we're looking pretty good. These all look pretty even. Alright, so now that a lot of the bubbles have gone away, we can see that these injectors are flowing within about 2 to 3% of one another. We're showing 50 cc's right now, or 50 milliliters basically. Now to get our actual cc flow rate, what we're going to do is, because that was over 15 seconds and your injector flow rate is calculated by minute. So when you get an injector, it says it's 1000 cc, it's 1000 cc per minute. So that injector at a given pressure rate will flow 1000 cc's of liquid, whether it be gasoline or E85 or whatever, over the course of a minute. So for instance, most factory injectors are rated at 43.5 psi. At 43.5 psi, 1000 cc injector will flow 1000 cc's of fluid per minute. So being that we only ran this for 15 seconds, we have to take this number that we got here in milliliters, convert it to cc, which is literally just taking off the ml and putting on a cc, multiply it by 4, and we'll get what our injectors are rated at flow-wise. So in this case right now, we're coming up to 50 milliliters, which is basically 50 cc's. 50 cc's times 4 is 200 cc's. So these are a 200 cc injector. Now, we did that at 20 psi. So basically, what we have to do is utilize an actual flow calculator, which luckily I have. Alright, so we calculated everything out at 43.5 psi, and I don't understand why this fucking camera won't focus. Oh, there we go, because it was on manual focus, dumbass. So we calculated it out. Basically at 43.5 psi, we're getting 295 cc, which is right where this injector should be. So everything is good with these. We can package them up, clean them up, make sure they're clean, and get them back to their owner, who's actually standing right behind me right now, so perfect timing. Alright, my wonderful followers, that was more in depth on the injector stuff. That was also the shop update. That was also, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that hopefully you made it to the end of this video. We actually just got another project. We got this Subaru downpipe. We got a Weld No 2 sensor bung in, so we'll do some video on that later. I wanted to let you guys know, I know I mentioned it before about supporting the channel. Now, this is always a huge controversy with what seems like all the YouTubers. So basically, you know, I've heard people saying, oh, it's just a money grab, this, that, the other thing. And you know what? I don't want to be that guy. Right now, my channel is not monetized. There are no ads. There's no nothing. So every view that you guys give me, I appreciate. And not because I'm making money off of it, but because I appreciate listening to all your comments and all the good stuff that you guys say and all the times you share my videos and everything else. I love the fact that I can get some of this information out there to you guys that you might not know, and help out the first-time welder and help out somebody who wants to be a mechanic. And we're going to be making some videos in the future that go in depth into maybe a shop tour and what it costs to actually get yourself a shop set up, whether it be a fabrication shop or a a general repair shop like I'm running here. We'll do a bunch of that stuff, and we'll make a bunch of videos explaining everything that goes on with that. And what I'm thinking about doing, and actually what I am doing, if you guys want to support this channel, there's going to be two ways. The first way is obviously going to be through watching my videos, watching the ads that are eventually going to be on these videos when the channel gets monetized. And, you know, not clicking skip or not using ad blockers and stuff like that. And what I'm going to do with any money that is made from YouTube is it is going to go directly into this channel, the content for you guys and everything else. I'm not going to buy myself cars. I'm not going to, you know, go crazy and, you know, just start living the big life on the money that you guys are actually contributing. We're not going to do a Patreon. We're not going to do GoFundMe. We're not going to do any of that. I'm a very firm believer in that you should get a product for your money, whether that product be training, knowledge, an actual physical product, anything. That's how we're going to run this. So I have and just placed the actual order, so it should be here very, very shortly. T-shirts, more fab t-shirts. Now our initial order is going to be very small, and the reason it's going to be small is we want to get it out there and see what it looks like when people, you know, are purchasing and what their purchase history looks like. My website is down in the description, and you can buy the shirts from there. Technically right now they are pre-order. However, you can order them and you can pay using a credit card, PayPal, whatever you want to use. If you want to support the channel, by all means, pick up a t-shirt. I'm going to have stickers made soon, and we'll have those for sale as well. And again, you know what? If you guys don't want to buy anything, please don't buy anything. Don't ever feel obligated to purchase anything from me or to support me. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys. And to be totally honest with you, any money that comes from it is just a bonus. So if you want, go buy a t-shirt. In the future, when I have stickers, if you want, go buy one of those. The only thing that I would ask you guys to do is that when there are ads on the videos, please watch to the end of the ad. Do what I do. Just click on the video. If the ad's playing, get up, take a leak, go get something to eat, do whatever. Let the ad play out. It does help immensely. And again, like I said, I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. We're up to almost 6,500 now, which I don't know how that happened, but it's awesome. And you guys are awesome. So that is a full, long-ass talking video, update, injector video, you name it. We're going to keep you guys in the loop as we move forward with the rest of the stuff. As spring rolls around, we're going to have some cool shit going on. Maybe some more collabs with different YouTubers, maybe some collaboration with different shops in the area. We're currently working on trying to get some of the guys, actually the guys that just picked up those injectors, we're trying to get them a little less camera shy so we can get them in on the picture, because they do a lot of really cool shit too. And we'll just try to bring everybody up together. So let's see how this goes. Let's keep doing it. I'll keep making videos for you guys. I apologize for, you know, taking a week off. We were super, super busy. So I will see you on the next one. Have an awesome day. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys.